Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the best racing you will find on a Wednesday evening. Welcome back to WOR Xbox Tier 3, where we arrive at the Sochi Autodrome in Russia. Of course, it has been the FRT Cheetah show so far, but will that back-to-back race-winning streak come to an end tonight? There's questions to be asked, there's questions to be answered, and I am joined today by third place man in Tier 1 on Monday. It's none other than Zach Oates. How are you doing?
Oh, thank you, mate. It's great to be back. Another great week of racing, hopefully. One of my favourite tracks, you could say, on the game. As you said, I got a podium on Monday. So I do know my way around the streets of Russia, you could say. Obviously, it's quite a street circuit. It's quite tight, quite technical. Obviously, very easy to cut, which is going to be very challenging for the drivers tonight. But no, I'm very excited. Feeling a bit ill, but my excitement is still very much up there for tonight.
That is great to hear. And of course, if you are into Tier 2 as well, you guys would know that PSR Boots went 3 for 3 last night, claiming his third race win in a row at Russia. Well, just in the season, I should say, but the same could be said about Cheetah tonight, like I said. Just an update on the driver standings then. Cheetah leads the way on 50 points, a perfect 50 in the traditional format. To start off the season, he leads ahead of Flying Rozzy, who took a P2 last time out in Imola. And then in third place, it's TTM Caesar after his second and sixth places to start the season. He's on 26 points. And of course, it's dominance in the constructors for Alpine so far. And with the returning NUFC Ryan, could they well extend that gap tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, Cheetah's had a great start to the season. I can't believe how well he's done, to be honest. Obviously, Belgium, it looked to be Rozzy taking the win, but obviously, you've got to get to the finish line, and that's what Rozzy did not do. And then, well, let's be honest, Imola, I think Imola had Cheetah's name written all over it. He was absolutely brilliant on the ult strategy, come out very close to the leaders after the pit stop, and no one was stopping him from then on in, got to the lead, pulled away. Safety car tried to halter him, but no chance. And obviously, we do know NUFC Ryan getting back into racing this season, and I'm sure he's going to be getting quicker every race, but he does already have some decent pace, so them two are going to be very strong as per usual, I reckon.
Yeah, well said. And just talking the track then, Russia, very flat, very tight at times, but on the game, to be honest, you can get some very decent racing out of it, particularly through the low-speed chicane section coming into Sector 3, and not to forget the long run through the kink of Turn 1 and all the way down to Turn 2. And even still, that can set you up for a move at Turn 3 and Turn 4 due to the flat-out nature of it. So, yeah, just your thoughts on the kind of racing we could see tonight.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, Russia. Obviously, I know it's not one of a lot of drivers' biggest fans of tracks. Obviously, it's very easy to extend corners. It's very tight, very technical. But I do love it because obviously it does challenge the drivers. Obviously, you got the turns of the left-right chicane before the last two corners, which is, well, the elevation change is mental, and it really brings out a challenging aspect of the track. And it's very original. That's the word I'd use. Very original, and obviously we do have this long start-finish straight, which is, well, going brilliant if the drivers can stay in the DRS zone, great for overtaking, and also the back straight going into that sector 3 point. Obviously, I'm going to move around the outside. There, it's a bit harder to move there, but when you get it done, it's going to be nice. So I reckon the racing is going to be as fierce as ever tonight. Maybe even the best we've seen this season.
Bold statement, but it could well be the case. Adam Dude. Now, this is a name, obviously, fresh from last week and is absolutely, well, I don't even know what to describe as, just embarrassing George Russell moment under the safety car last week. And let's not forget what the Humperdinck got up to as well, trying to overtake the leaders and ultimately getting disqualified. For Aston Martin as well, no points between the two drivers, the Humperdinck and Half, in the first 2 rounds of the season. With a reduced grid tonight, just 16 drivers, plenty of reserves as well that have not been able to make it. It is a huge opportunity for Aston Martin to finally get some points on the board. I didn't even think the Humperdinck was that keen on racing tonight. I'm pretty sure he was a pretty late announcer of his availability, but Flying Rossi crosses the line, goes on to pole position, and I am right in saying, of course, that Cheetah is nowhere to be found.
Oh wow! Yeah, I've just noticed that as well.
My mind blanked, and well, he's not even here.
Interesting. Wow, that's huge for the championship, I understand.
Of course, yeah. Flying Rossi going up to pole, second place man with a win. He can take the championship lead now. Okay, scrap everything out the window. Scrap everything I said about Cheetah. Scrap all that. Flying Rossi could take the championship lead tonight with a race win.
Wow,
that's good. TTM Caesar.
Yeah. Okay, that's really caught me by surprise. So obviously, Chiefs had such a good start to the season, and well, to see him not here tonight, it's just throwing a spanner into the works. Obviously, this is gonna be huge for the Flying Rossi. He's had a bit of a difficult start to the season, as we said, but obviously, you know, he's obviously showing pace already, putting up provisional pole by 0.2 of a second. He's coming in strong tonight. If he can grab that win, championship is. I know it's very early in the season. We should be speaking about championship, but I think this is going to throw a right spanner into the works. Honestly, the Rossi and the Cheetah show it could be this year. Oh.
It could be. The thing is, though, I was scanning the names. I went to the toilet beforehand. I was scanning the names. I was like, yeah, all the usuals are here. Didn't even bother crossing my mind that Cheetah was not on the grid list for today, nor is he in the lobby. So how those two things have just escaped my mind like that, and I was so fixated on talking about the possibility of getting 3 in a row. Never mind that, I've tweeted it out as well. It's like, that's really embarrassing now. That is horrendous, but mistakes have been made, and well, obviously we can gloss over that now and focus on the excitement of the rest of the pack. On board with Limp Jet, who's made the switch from the mediums to the softs. He's got about 8 tenths to find if he wants to challenge for pole position. Very smooth through the first sector, finding 2 tenths overall. Next up is turn 7, down to 5th gear. Don't cross over that white line. Don't hit the inside curb either. Coming through turn 9, run out wide. Switch back to the left-hand side, breaking a straight line. Nice turn 10 there, but he runs slightly wide. DRS open now for the run through the kink of turn 11. There's another kink through the left of 12. Then you hit the blind braking zone of turn 13. And Limp Jet now 6 tenths up as well, as he makes his way through turn 13 and 14. Difficult traction zone. Now finds himself going into the off-camber turn 15. For a nice run through 16. Just 2 more corners to go then. Pit lane on the right hand side. And final corner now for Limp Jet. It's been a very, very smooth lap. And unsurprisingly, that finds himself on provisional pole with a 1:30.649.
Yeah, that's a very nice lap there from Limp Jet, obviously. I think he's got that last sector really hooked up really nicely, obviously. For the left-right, he went out of 2nd gear, which for me is very surprising, but he's obviously got it hooked up. He's done the practice, he's got the setup, and he knows what he's doing. So I'm not going to question his methods. But no, great lap there from Limp Jet. Put himself on pole by over a tenth to it. On form, Flying Rossi right now. So that's good to see. Obviously, as we look down the field, obviously, I think we've got a new driver as well, actually, coming in tonight. E.T. Liam. In the Alfa Romeo. So we've got a few new faces in here tonight, obviously. Obviously, we're missing a few of the OGs, obviously the people that we thought should have been here, and obviously aren't. Obviously, we've got Big Adam Dude as well, which I'm expecting huge redemption from his Imola incident. I can't believe what he did last week. I have seen the clip, and it's sad for him because he was battling for the win the whole race. He had a great race from a difficult qualifying, and yeah. Obviously, I'm sure Adam won't want us speaking about that too much as he comes to start the flying lap and he hopes to start redemption right now.
FRT Blackie just went 3/100ths of a second quicker. That does not improve on his current grid position at this moment in time. We're now seeing a lot of drivers out there starting their second runs, and NUFC Ryan is out there in the one and only Alpine this evening, hoping to add more points onto the Constructors' Leaders tally. He's about 8/100ths of a second up through the middle sector, and TTM Caesar now sets the benchmark, with a 30.525. We're edging ever closer to those low 1 minute 30s, which is what most of the drivers will be perhaps aiming for after their initial practice runs. NUFC Ryan round to the final corner, and he has chosen to abort this particular lap. Harv going up to 5th, so that's a lot better there from Harv. Still got 4/10ths to find in comparison to Caesar, but still a well improved time there from Harv. We've got Steve F1 out there. Squidge no longer improving. The Humperdinck is slowing down and is invalid. Typical F1 10th place at the moment on the mediums. FRT Heaven up to P9 without a point scored so far this season. He'll be hoping that changes this evening. But I think at the moment... Oh, and Flying Rozzie's just started his lap. He's making his way through turn 3 now. Perhaps talk us through the rest of this one.
Yeah, as we see now, come down for the fast left-hander. He's going to want to go down probably into 4th gear here. Quick shift up to 5th on the exit to the traction. Exactly how he does now. Coming for the first sector point. What's it going to be? It's going to be a flat. Not too bad. As he then kicks out the right-hander down into 4th gear. Very nice and tidy as it stands. This is a very quick corner now, so he's going to want to see straight over the curb. Very nicely done. Obviously, these corners are so hard to negotiate. The curbs are ferocious, but he seems to be handling it very well right now as we come into the last corner for the back straight, last corner of sector 2, which is very tricky actually, especially to get the upsteer. Obviously, he does it very nicely. DRS on. Rozzie looking for redemption, as I said. I see what sector 2 split is. It's a 0.5. It's actually not too good, but it now comes into the last sector now, down to 3rd gear. Quick shift up to 4th gear to get rid of the traction. Very nice on the exit. Comes down to the off camber, left-right chicane at the end of the lap as he clips the curb. Ooh. That's not what Rozzie wants to be seeing. That would have cost him temps. A few temps there, but he comes in the second last corner. Nice.
Oh, never mind.
It was a bit of a scrappy lap there, I thought, from Rozzie, to be honest. He's obviously coming in here very aggressive. Maybe knowing that Cheetah isn't here, he's trying to maximise everything, but he needs to calm himself down because that was just too aggressive from Rozzie there. But still P3 though, not the end of the world. He's a Humperdinck. After P4, good lap.
Yeah, the Humperdinck, if I'm right in saying, I think he may well have started 4th last week, but obviously he was collected in the Tamburello melee last week, and that ultimately ruined his race just seconds in. So I'll be hoping Russia's a lot more open without the gravel traps. Pure just run off. I don't think there's a gravel trap in sight on this circuit. There's still just plenty of tarmac for you to use. So yeah, I think the chances of that being avoided are a lot higher. But yeah, TTM Caesar actually saying in the Twitch chat, I used higher fuel.
Oh.
That's a statement, if true. Well,
I don't know
it's
if
obviously come from his mouth, so...
Or what, but
yeah.
He's definitely coming in here with a bit of aggression, shall we say, into this race. But it was a very good qualifying lap there from Caesar. I'm very impressed with that lap, and if he does that, well, I'm sure he can go even faster then. All the pressure's on him for the last run now.
Limp Jet is the first one out there, I believe. Discounting Flying Rozzie and the Humperdinck, making their way back in. TMS Amazed, I believe is actually on a flying lap. He's just started one, I do believe. So into turn 2. Very nicely done through there. He's on the power all throughout that little sequence. Now hugs the inside line of turn 3. Now brakes on the curb for turn 4. Once again, very nicely done. And through the first sector, 2 and a bit tenths up. So TMS Amaze currently about a second off in P12. We'll need even greater improvements through sectors 2 and 3 on this run. But Limp Jet has just started his run. Alex as well. Now Savoya getting in on the action as well. Counting down the last few minutes of the third qualifying session of WOR Tier 3 in Season 12. And it's going to be TMS Amazed that looks to set the benchmark here. And to the end of Sector 2, he's found another 2/10 on this lap, but he runs a bit wide into turn 13. Corrects it nicely into turn 14. It's decent traction as well. Flying Rozzy has retired from the session. No time or tyres for him to be able to go again. FRT Blackie needs to get out of the way quickly. He does. TMS Amaze has a clear track into turn 17 and into turn 18 as well, where he runs wide and runs all the way off the track. And it's still... it must have been invalidated because he went off the track. It must have been previous lap as well.
So disappointing for Amaze. Obviously, he did a 30.8, would have put him in the top 5, which I'm right in saying probably would have been his best qualifying of the season, which would have been a very strong drive there for Amaze. But yeah, he went too deep at the last corner. Unfortunately, knew it early on, tried to use the exit, and unfortunately, it didn't work for him this time.
Yeah, Limp Jet has actually slowed down on this one as well. We'll be intrigued to know if he goes again. Alex, not quite sure what's going on with the Spaniard. Deploy used, and, well, he's just completed a lap as well. So, 16th place for him at the moment. Shazoo Savoy around in the final corner, and I think he's fell into the same... No, he hasn't. That lap counted, and he goes into P11. Could that be the genius starting spot? Who knows? Although it is just that one-stop strategy, as it has been down the years in the F1 game at Russia. Low tyre degradation around here traditionally. Oh.
And he was 70 thousandths up already after Sector 1. Disappointing.
But now does this leave that top spot open up to anyone? FRT Blackie is making his way now into the final couple of corners. He was about a 10th up as of Sector 2, but you can gain so much time through Sector 3 that you can forget about the first two sectors completely. Oh, FRT Blackie, it was so close, yet so far for him. Good lap though, great effort, you have to say. And Harv up to 4th now. Harv gets himself on row 2. The Humperdinck has invalidated. FRT Heaven crosses the line and goes 7th fastest. NUFC Ryan on the exit of turn 14 was about 2/10 up just moments ago. Hits the inside curb of 15. Oh, he gets a slide on through turn 16, and he's going to abort this one. I think TTM Caesar may well hold on unless his teammate Steve has an answer for it. We'll have to wait and see. Is Limp Jet going again? No, he's making his way into the pit lane. So let's focus our attentions once again on Steve F1. Round to the final corner. Is it going to be enough? No, it's only P8 for him. And I think that is the qualifying affair sorted, as ETE Liam is trundling around the Sochi Autodrome as well. Adam Dude up to 11th. Yeah, that's definitely that.
Yeah, well, that's a great qualifying session, actually. You know what, that's different. That's a bit different to what we've been seeing so far. I finally seen the potential of Blackie. Obviously, I've been kind of boosting him up all season, and that's what I know he can do. I know what Blackie's type of pace is, and he's put there on the front row, which is, well, he's put himself in a perfect position for this race. But Caesar, nothing taken away from him. Obviously, he did unfortunately violate the last lap, but a low 0.5 midway through the session. Awesome lap there from Caesar to get his first pole position of the season, if I'm correct, with then Limp Jet complete the top 3. So it's definitely going to be an interesting race with Flying Rozzy coming back through the pack, and that's the Martins up there again. Can they stay up there for the race though?
TTM Caesar needs to win the race and outscore Flying Rozzy by 2 points in order to take the championship lead today. If you are just tuning in and you haven't already heard my stupidity this evening, Cheetah is not here, so cannot go 3 in a row. Well, technically he still could if he races next week and wins, but he won't go 3 in a row in the first 3 races, and Flying Rozzy and TTM Caesar are the only 2 drivers that could inherit the championship lead today. They have to win the race in order to do that, though. That's qualifying done. Not quite sure what we're waiting on. There's still cars going. Oh, there we go. E.T. Liam, who was obviously trundling back. Could well have retired on track, but I suppose he wasn't to know. Adam Dude has sadly left us, so this is something I don't know about. You could perhaps get him back in.
I'll try.
But confirming the qualifying results then, TTM Caesar and FRT Blackie sharing the front row. Just 0.066 between those two. Limp Jet and Harv on the second row. Flying Rozzy and the Humperdinck on row 3. FRT Heaven is ahead of Steve F1 there. An opposite sequence. Ferrari Red Bull and then Red Bull Ferrari down there as well. Alex in P9, NUFC Ryan in P10, and Adam Dude getting that P11 spot ahead of Squidge, Liam, Shazoo Savoya, Typical F1 and TMS Amaze, with the grid all within about a second there. And you have to say, Typical F1 did his best lap on the mediums, and that came earlier in the session. Could he have well been in the mix for pole there? It's probably a second in total.
Yeah, there's a decent amount of time in there, but I was watching him on his last lap actually, because I know he invalidated early on, and he was actually on a decent lap. I think he was definitely on for that's definitely a top 5, potentially pushing on a top 3. See how good his last sector was. So seeing how good his pace was on that last lap, I do feel like he could be a dark horse for this race. Obviously, down at the back is, I think, P14, I think, is not where he's going to want to be starting. P15, actually, yeah. So, but he's going to be flying through the pack. So it's going to be interesting to see how he comes through, especially like Adam did as well. On the up strat, leading the up strat, obviously, he's not going to be the most powerful around here, but if he can nail an undercut or something, I wouldn't count him out.
Absolutely. We're counted down the seconds now towards the start of round 3. And Twitch chat, if you have any predictions for us, we'll be more than delighted to read them. Should probably emphasise the calendar changes as well. If I'm right in saying, I will just confirm this. It'll be in the social feed somewhere. If I scroll up a little bit, scroll down a little bit, scroll up, scroll down. Oh,
I think go grab a drink.
Can't remember where they starts. Yeah, it's probably a good idea while I waffle. But formation lap is getting underway. Yes, 6th of February. 3 days ago, calendar changes were announced, and in order to prevent F1 Esports Challengers drivers from practicing 3 tracks ahead of the third event, Austria has been moved to round 4, and then the Netherlands moves to round 5. Just a reminder of the calendar. We're here in Russia. Next week is Austria. Round 5 is the Netherlands before we have a break week. Then we set off for Canada on March the 6th, or week beginning, I should say. And Italy, round 7. That will be Monza. Our second trip to Italy of the season, followed by Bahrain, Mexico, Australia, Portugal, Saudi Arabia, France, Britain and Brazil. Unfortunately, announcements this week have kind of indicated me not being able to be here towards the end of the season. Not because I don't want to, because just for stress reasons with the ongoing exams and stuff. But obviously we've still got a long way to go. And of course, delighted to be able to talk you through the action alongside Zach. Caesar on pole ahead of Blackie, Limp Jet and Harv. Remember the absolute thriller we had in 2021. We've seen some of the 2022 cars now, but that doesn't mean we're not in for a classic here today.
Okay, we are back.
Welcome back. Any last predictions while the grid form up?
Little predictions. Honestly, I think Caesar. I think he's gonna take this straight up. I think he's been progressing really well over the past 2 races. He's finally put it on pole position. strong lap, and I think he's just going to bring us home. It's going to be a tough race, obviously, with Blackie and Flying Rossi coming through, but yeah, Tees is my man, and I think Typical's going to get a nice top 4.
Well, we'll see if those predictions become reality as round 3 commences here in Russia. 5 red lights on ahead of the drivers. Lights out, and away we go in Sochi. Will TTM Caesar cover off the inside straight away? Yes, he does. He gets a magnificent start from pole. It's 3 wide in the background. Harvest making his way up to 3rd. It could be 2nd, as he may well look to force it down the inside of the Red Bull. Oh, so close there to contact, as Limp Jet gets involved as well, cutting the track there. Not quite sure who it was, but Flying Rossi critically drops down to 8th at the start. The Humperdinck getting a bit of a wiggle on as he overtakes FRT Heaven, who's trying to switch back the Aston Martin driver and reigning champion. He goes down the inside at turn 5. Can the Red Bull driver get it done? He forces the Humperdinck slightly out wide, and the two continue to battle coming into turn 6 and 7. The Humperdinck the long way round. Great move there, even if it was slightly off the track, which maybe FRT Heaven won't be too happy about, but still, it's been a fairly clean start until Shizu Savoy had decided to ruin all of that in, I believe, contact with Alex.
Yeah, well, what a bit of a hectic start there, especially to turn 1. I think 3 wide between the Humperdinck and Rossi, and I think it was Heaven, and I think Rossi was the one who got pushed off on the outside. Nothing you really do. I think Humperdinck didn't expect it to be 3 wide, and unfortunately Rossi was the guy outside. But Humperdinck seems to be all over the shop right now. He seems to be really struggling, and he's already a 2nd back from Lim Jet. And he needs to pick up his game, otherwise, well, the top 4 are just going to get away straight away. It's been a perfect start from Caesar, Blackie, Haas, 1, 2, and 3. But Rossi down in P9. What a horrible start to, well, probably would have been one of his favourite races, seeing Cheetah not be here.
And Shizu Savoy, who insisted he'd finish the race just for me, has retired on lap 1. You cannot write it, honestly. Adam Dude versus Flying Rossi through turn 3, and Flying Rossi seems to be really quite slow through this part of the track, and Adam Dude, his natural trajectory there just kind of set him out wide there, so he lost ground a little bit to Flying Rossi, and he also has NUFC Ryan to think about defending as well. But yeah, TTMC's are out in front, 8 tenths over FRT. Blackie needs a couple more tenths to solidify some sort of dominance in this opening stint, so he doesn't have to worry about that all-important DRS. Still 8 tenths, and obviously Blackie right on that overtake button as he looks to close in on the back of Season. He's getting a touch of slipstream as well, so I don't think he's quite escaped that 1 second marker yet, Zach.
Yeah, no, he's definitely pushing for it, but obviously he won't want to use too much ERS to get out of it, because obviously, because of the wing test of run running, which are quite high, he as soon as you use it, you ain't going to really be regenerating it, and obviously Blackie's at pace. Look at the half right now, he seems to be really strong. He seems to have 84%, 83% ERS, and he's right in there, 4 cents back of the P2 man. Maybe that's the Martin man has finally got his stuff together, but it was a long race. Tyre wear isn't too bad around this track, so it's going to be all about strategy, because even though tyre isn't bad, the undercut is pretty tasty. So if one of these can get the strategy perfectly, we could see a nice change in position. Obviously, the top 3 seems to have good pace, as Limp Jet is getting very close to that 1 second window. And, well, he's going to have to use DRS because he's not going to be 1 second window. As for some reason, with Alex up in P6, 4 seconds back.
There's a yellow flag, and I think it's TMS Amazed at turn 4, so he seems to have had a spin there. Yeah, all sorts going on the end of that previous lap as well. FRT Heaven was having a bit of a battle with Steve F1, and, well, ultimately he came into the pit lane and picked up a penalty in the process, so wasn't quite sure what was going on there. He dropped significantly off the back of the Humperdinck, and now it's a 4 second gap between Flying Rossi and the back of the reigning champion, and he's leading this humongous DRS train, as well as Adam Dudes is not really within striking distance, but NUFC Ryan is in striking distance of Steve F1. He gets past the Ferrari driver and up into P8. Solid progress being made by the Brit.
Yeah, I can tell you, this is it's been one of the worst starts. And everyone seems to be struggling. I mean, and you see Ryan now making a few mistakes in the last sector. This is confusing. Obviously not confusing, because obviously this track is very hard to negotiate, and obviously the drivers are experiencing how hard it is right now. But to see 4 seconds back, Flying Rossi, probably I think it's quite a strong track for Flying Rossi, but unfortunately, whatever's happened at the start is absolutely thrown his whole race away potentially. 4 seconds back from a man who is 2.5 seconds back from the top 3. So this Rossi's got a lot of hard work to do, but if anyone could do it, I do believe it is the Flying Rossi man, who has got some decent pace, keep calm, and hopefully try and bring this gap down bit by bit.
Yeah, Adam Dude has gained 4 places, as has Typical F1 and TMS Amazed. Amazed, who also had a spin just a moment ago as well. So, yeah, positions not really being everything there. But Adam Dude has now dropped off the back of Flying Rossi, so NUFC Ryan may see this as his opportunity to overtake Adam Dude, both on the same compound of tyre, of course. Steve F1 just behind, so he's got to be careful what he does. That could leave him vulnerable.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, these drivers got to be sensible with everything around here, because obviously, because I said earlier on, it's so tight around here. Every move has got to be inch perfect, because obviously the curves, how tight it is, obviously it's very easy to get damaged, and so you've got to be so sensible and not to use too much ERS while trying to overtake. It's so important. But looking at ETV now, I think this is his debut, and on the mediums, right there on the back of the train,
P6.
And Harv.
Sorry to interrupt you, yeah. And FRT Blackie, who'd lost the 1 second margin to TTM Caesar, now feels that effect straight away as Harv breezes past, really, the Red Bull. And Harv, who's had a wretched first 2 races of the season, finally could have it his way in round 3.
No, yeah, that's so important for Harv. I think Blackie was starting to. I think he may have lost the DRS zone on Caesar, which is so massive. 2 massive long back straights, and well, Harv just knew he had to get past. Plenty of DRS Harv's still got though, so he can use a bit of his DRS now, bit by bit, to try and bring down the gap to Caesar. But now it's going to be all about how can Caesar manage this gap. Can he extend it even more? Because now he's got a 1.6 second advantage. It's huge keeping him outside the DRS zone now. Because this can be Caesar's race if he can try and build up the pace and keep them tyres in temp. And maybe if Blackie starts fighting Harv again, because he's still really close and the DRS is massive around here, like I have said. So this race is blown wide open now for Team Caesar.
Yeah, Caesar's really been stretching his legs on this lap and making the most of that lack of vulnerability now to the 2 cars behind him. Will FRT Blackie attack back on this lap as he opens the DRS now? He's gaining on the Aston Martin, and Harv seems really vulnerable here. So Blackie goes back up the inside at turn 2, but he runs deep. He has to take to the escape road. He doesn't take the bollards, but either way, Harv gets right around him, and well, that's disappointing for Blackie, you have to say.
Yeah, I think that's a bit over-ambitious move there for Blackie. Obviously, Harv has got a lot more ERS than him. Obviously, I think he's got more pace than Blackie, but Blackie go for a late move there into turn 1, and just, well, it probably has just given the race to Caesar now. Obviously, the race has got a long race left, but that crucial bit now, Caesar's over 2 seconds clear now, and as we see, Harv is making a few mistakes here. Caesar is probably loving life right now, as Blackie's probably going to go for it again. But the problem is, though, with Blackie in P2, is they don't have much ERS to contend with.
And here he goes. Blackie has got to head before the braking zone now. So, hopefully, doesn't get this one too wrong. And he hasn't before, but he gets a wobble on once again. And Harv could well have taken that opportunity to repass the Red Bull. But yeah, Blackie just really not making the most of these re-overtaking manoeuvres as I say that. Harv gets completely sideways. Now has Limp Jet on his tail. Wow, I just don't remember a race like this for a long time where just drivers are just struggling. Overtakes, keeping it on the track, whatever it is. And it's Russia.
No, yeah, it's mental to see how hard this track can be on the drivers. There's so many aspects of this track, you know, the overheating, the curbs, everything. But the drivers really are struggling tonight. But I'll tell you what, there is one man who kept his composure and he's still going strong with, well, it's still an okay, about the same amount of
Squidge.
the P2 as Squidge, unfortunately, has
Safety car.
retired. Oh,
And that
wow.
brings the whole field together.
Caesar is going to be absolutely fuming, and I don't blame him because he drove an absolutely
4
perfect
seconds.
7 laps there, and it's all been unravelled by a safety car. Ah, that is disappointing, but for us commentators, it brings the pack right back in together. Florozzi is back in it now. Adam Dude for P11, P6, going to be right on the lead train. It just opens the race wide up again. It'd be interesting to see if Adam driver pits actually, because like I said, tyre isn't too bad on this track. I don't think drivers will go for a hard, but he could probably stretch a set of mediums from here.
TTM Caesar has the first call. So he makes his way into turn 15 and 16. The pit lane coming up in just a moment on the right hand side. And in he comes indeed.
Yeah,
He's committed to it now. And Blackie follows him in. Harv follows him in. Limp Jet does as well. Wouldn't be surprised if the rest of the soft runners... Oh, Harv.
Oh,
It's a safety car, mate. It's a safety car.
Oh, no. There was no pressure. There was nothing. And he's just thrown his race way worse than I did in challenges in China. At least mine was in race conditions. That was on the safety car, and I feel so bad for him there, but he's just got to be... If he wants to go for the championship this year, he can't be making stupid mistakes like that. That stupid mistakes is going to ruin the championship now. And now he's got to drive an absolutely flawless race and try to extend 5 seconds on the track. Which I don't
For a
think
car that has number 37 on it, he's not able to stick below 37 miles an hour.
Aha.
Yeah, that's right. But
It's true.
thought I got that wrong for a second.
That
But
is very, very slow pit lane. You didn't expect it.
it's a brilliant observation. But starting to build the pack up now. Race neutralised for a few laps due to the on-track crash from Squidge. And Squidge, excuse me, who, well, has not started the season too brilliantly either. No points to his name, and he's gone 3 races now without a point.
Ooh, yeah, sorry. I'm getting a bit closer to Blackie. I need to calm down a bit. I don't know if he's a bit angry for the blue, but sorry. Very close to Blackie down the safety car, but yeah, obviously Squidge not had a good start to the season. Yeah, he's not exactly what he would have been wanting. 0 points after the first 3 rounds is what you want, but luckily it is a long season. He's still got plenty of time. He needs to figure out what's going wrong and come back it stronger. Do practice in a different way. That's what I do. Just do it a different way. Even if you felt like it worked the first time, it obviously didn't. Do practice a different way. Come at it a different way. Do less practice if you need to, just to get a better mindset coming into it. Do what he needs to do, but he needs to do something different because 0 points on his first round is not what he would have been hoping for. Whereas someone like, well, I think Caesar is a good driver to recommend because obviously he's been doing progression every week, and I think this guy, even though Cheetah has had a perfect start to the season, Caesar for the rest of the season now, obviously, if he gets this win, his mindset will be so positive and confident that it could be him be Cheetah season. I did say Rossi, but Rossi has been making a few mistakes.
TMS Amazed is off back into the pit lane, as is ETE Liam, so these two will be switching back on to the... typical F1 as well, so these 3 will be switching back on to the medium tyres, because of course softs and hards just not viable to the end in this circumstance. Mediums will go just fine, and the Humperdinck, who pit a little bit prior to everyone else, comes back out in all this in P6. or are they used from qualifying?
Ooh.
He didn't pit earlier, did he?
No, they are from qualifying. He's used them tyres in qualifying. Interesting. Wait, that's confusing actually. Because he would have had a new set of mediums for the race. And I'm sure the
Yeah.
team would have put him onto it to start off with.
Must have pit earlier then. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he
think he
must pit
did.
earlier.
So
Interesting track there for Hamlin. I wouldn't expect him to pit that early, to be honest. But yeah, he's behind flying Rossi now as well. Yeah, so he must have done. He
yeah,
must have
yeah.
got a bit unlucky in the safety car there. But no, he's still there. No, unlucky. But two laps on tyres already. It's gonna be hard to get to the end. Obviously, he probably can do it, but obviously everyone else's tyres will be a lot fresher around him at the end.
TTM Caesar preparing perhaps for a safety car restart now, as in just a few moments' time we'll be finding out whether that Aston Martin safety car will peel off into the pit lane, and it will. So we'll go racing again on lap 10 of 27.
Yeah, it's gonna be
TTM's.
a quick restart. Obviously, Caesar's gonna be wanted to catch him off guard. Maybe go for early out the left-right chicane. I've seen a few drivers do that before, and it has worked. If he's going to pat down enough, he might be able to use it to his advantage. But obviously, FLC back, he's gonna have to get right on him now. He cannot let Caesar get away like he did last time. Obviously, with half the penalty, it could be a 1v1 between the two guys on track at the front now.
Will Caesar leave it late? Obviously, can't overtake until the start finish line, but he's put to the floor and now into the final corner. We're back green once again in Russia as Caesar actually gets a really solid restart, and he weaves just to secure a bit more tyre temp. As the lead car, it's never easy to find the balance between heating up those tyres and making sure everyone behind doesn't hit you. Caesar leads the way into turn 2 ahead of Blackie and Harv. And Harv, who has that 5-second time penalty, will need to hope for a rather stunning final stint here, as needs to find 5 seconds on many of the chasing drivers.
Yeah, it was a great restart there from Caesar. Obviously, a good 6.5 steps clear already. He's going to use it all with the DRS to try and push out a DRS zone. As it proved in that first stint, he used it brilliantly when he got the pack out of the DRS zone. So he tried to do the exact same strategy again, and see how it goes. But obviously, there's not really any changes. It's got a calm restart there for the safety car. Everyone seems to still be going. Everyone within a second of each other. And yeah, it's pretty, as I say that, I definitely haven't been going into the barrier. But it's been a great start for everyone, and there's too much to say. I think obviously someone like the Humvee has been kind of saved from that safety car and by Rossi, and it'll be interesting to see how they can fight back through now that they can see the leader right there.
TTM Caesar did have about 8 tenths on Blackie for a moment there, but it's come down now to about 6 or 7 once again. The pressure is still just about on for TTM Caesar, but he'll need to hope for a half Blackie type fight again, because honestly, that really set him on his way to flexing his muscles, showing his pace, and storming away from the field. We need that again, I'm sure, in this fight.
Yeah, it's going to be very important for Caesar to try and stretch away again. He knows how to do it. Obviously, I'm not too sure on the warning status of Caesar, but obviously so far no penalties to his name. So the pace he has been legitimate. He hasn't been trying to exceed everywhere. So if he can just try to do the exact same thing again, get out front, maybe have a little bit of ERS to his name, as he looks at the exact same amount as Blackie. So you guys can exactly how he probably wanted to go right now. 8 attempts. He's got some really good pace, but the problem is now Blackie probably learned from the first stint, and he's going to come out a lot stronger now. Ain't going to let him try and get away again, I wouldn't imagine.
DRS will be enabled on the next lap, lap 12. So obviously after a safety car restart, we've got to wait 3 laps. On the 3rd lap, DRS is re-enabled just as it would be at the start of a dry Grand Prix. And the skies have been very sunny here in Sochi today. It's not often you actually get rain at the Russian Grand Prix, and well, when it does come, 2021, well, something quite special is served on the menu. But FRT Blackie hovering now at around 9/10 of a second. He's just about in DRS, so this will keep him closer to Caesar, and obviously if all goes to plan, he'll be in DRS as well on the back straight. So still game on for the race lead.
Yeah, that's huge for Caesar. Really showing his pace there. As we saw, Blackie was kind of like keeping it like 8 to 6, 10. He kept going up and down. But then Caesar out of nowhere. Well, the range to over a second. Really showing what type of pace Caesar has tonight. It's really brilliant to see. He just looks like he's on rails. In every apex, using all the track on the exits and the corners. And look, it's over 9 to 10. Caesar is flying right now, and Blackie needs to find something, otherwise he's going to be, well, falling into the pack that has the Harv, the Ninja, Flying Rossi and Humperdinck. But the gap absolutely huge. I think the pace up front is just really good from Caesar. So, obviously, everyone's not going to too much DRS, except for Rossi actually, looking really good on DRS. Obviously, he's 1.1 seconds back, so he's to make sure he keeps him in the DRS zone, but yeah, Caesar really flying right now, but the problem is now, he's had that little burst, he may have overheated his tyres, and there's a gap down to 710, so he's got to be careful. The tyre overheating is very common around here, and that's the when you push, you've got to worry about every different aspect of the car, the warnings, everything, even tyre overheat is so important.
Pressure just does not exist for Caesar today. But as I say that, FRT Blackie is now really making the most of that DRS advantage, closing the gap now to about 0.3 of a second, and before too long I think we actually could see a change in leadership in this race. Those fastest laps as well were ticking rapidly down the order as well, so if anything the field is still slightly condensing as we edge closer to the halfway point of the race. I think we've just about met that now with 13.5 laps in. Caesar just about keeping command through the second sector, but now through turn 10 and onto the kink of turn 11. DRS open once again, and Blackie could get even closer to the back of the Ferrari, and in fact he closes his DRS flap. Maybe he'll start saving that battery for a later charge.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, I think Caesar has given up the push now. Obviously, he was pushing really hard, and but obviously FT Blackie's right on him now. So I think it's going to be best for FT Blackie if he can get ahead, try and push Caesar into the pack. Maybe a potential move from Harv, because I feel like if Blackie leaves it behind Caesar, Caesar could catch him out at one mistake from Blackie, and Caesar could be gone. So it could be a good idea for Blackie to go past because they have the pace. Have to wait and see, as we see Flying Rossi now actually dropping off the pack, which is surprising because plenty of ERS and the pace doesn't seem bad, but he just, I don't know if he's just letting all them guys out front wear their tyres down, use their ERS. But it's interesting play from Rossi. I'm interested to see what he does the rest of the race. As we see, I think we've had a bit of an incident for a mate as well. He is down 36 seconds back from the rest of the pack. Other than that, the pack is really close and looking to be a good second half of the race.
Another thing on Flying Rossi as well, now that he's lost DRS, well, it's pretty much game over in a straight race scenario, and that may well help Harv. Oh, for God's sake. As soon as I say that, Harv picks up a 3-second time penalty to go along with his 5 seconds for speeding. Okay, maybe not. As FRT Heaven crashes out on the exit of turn 10, so his matter's going to be worse. It's God. Safety car number 2 in Sochi.
Well, yeah, like you said, it would have been dream worlds for Harv there, because Flying Rossi was dropping back. Humperdinck was out of DRS of Rossi. Yeah, that could have been a nice top 5, top 4 there for Harv, no matter what happened the rest of the race. But yeah, he got a penalty and now the safety car. It's going to be even worse for him.
Caesar baited right, baited left, stays out in the end. But Limp Jet, the Humperdinck, take this opportunity to come into the pits, as does Steve F1. Are they going to go back onto the softs? I mean, if you're typical F1, ET, Liam here, they're all going to follow in. So there's not much to lose for these guys. It could be a great call.
I think this is a brilliant call from the boys. Obviously, these soft tyres, they're going to be right on the back. Limp Jet's going to be P7 with a fresh set of soft tyres. With only about 10 laps of racing, probably 10, 11 laps. This is a great strategy from Limp Jet. Obviously, I know it's going to be hard for him to overtake, but he wasn't top 3, he was 4th. He's lost 3 positions and come out with a fresh set of new tyres. I think that's an absolutely stupendous call there from Limp Jet. Obviously, the Humperdinck, nothing to lose, follows him in.
Yeah, well, game on, I have to say. That's all I've got to say. Game on. Limp Jet, now the leader of the soft runners, the leader of the soft tribe, if you like. And, well, NUFC Ryan has a penalty. Harv has 8 seconds worth of penalties. That's 2 positions, perhaps inherited.
For free,
and then
yeah.
just through tyre life and grip, there's no stopping them gaining a few extra positions. So Limp Jet has really only lost 1 position there. No, two positions on track. But yeah, TTMCs are popping up in the Twitch chat going again.
Yeah, I feel bad.
But he's coped so brilliantly.
Yeah, it's just harsh on Caesar because obviously the first time, you know, he was clear, he was gone. Even in the safety car, but he did get nice. You know, he could pit anyway. It was fine. But the problem is with the second safety car is that he's the leading car, and the strategy call that Limp Jet has made, I think it was hard for Caesar. He couldn't be the one to make it. He has to lead. If no one else did it, he could have found himself down in P13, which probably wouldn't have been worth it. It's hard for Caesar, and I'm sure that he would have been thinking about the soft tyres. But obviously because that lead car, so these safety cars are really not liking Caesar today. But he's still got the lead. He's still got 10 laps left. You need to keep driving how he's driving because you're driving brilliant to Caesar, and I hope you can keep it up for the rest of the race.
This is still the championship lead on the line as well, heading towards the Styrian Hills next week. So obviously this is absolutely massive if he can hold on to the win here today. Of course, if Flying Rozzy was to snatch the win, he'd take the championship lead. But on raw pace today, I don't think that's quite likely with the soft runners in contention now as well. Oh, don't you just love a 50-50 split between mediums and soft runners? We're probably going to have 10 laps to go, 10, 11 laps. Obviously, TMS Amaze is really far behind and in the pit lane at the moment. So perhaps the game would like to wait for him to catch up.
Yeah, obviously you should have 10 out of 10, but the split between the mediums and softs is great to see, and it's going to be interesting to see how the rest of the race goes, because obviously we have the likes of Limp Jet, Humperdinck, Steve, all flying through the pack, and how well their medium runners can hold on. I don't think they're going to be able to. I think it may be Caesar who gets the win still, but I reckon we could see a P2 and P3 for Limp Jet and Humperdinck. I do feel that they can come through. By the time they get there, though, will Caesar be gone? He's tried brilliantly so far, and I feel like he ain't stopping here. He wants this win, and he's going to do anything he can to get it.
It looks like we're going for another tour behind the safety car, and that will leave us with 10 laps to go. That number, of course, a little bit kinder. Or is it? Ooh, I really don't know, because obviously the soft runners have obviously less pressure on the tyres, less work on the tyres through the safety car, but also the medium runners, it's less laps to be closed down in. So what is the compromise here? What are we sort of thinking here, Zach?
Well, you're pretty much going to guess mine. I am in absolute. I have no clue how this race is going to go. It's so hard to work out, because that's the problem, isn't it? Like, this game is all about DRS trains, and we're going to see that. So it's going to be so important for Limp Jet and the Humperdinck to just go so aggressive to start off with. just get straight in there, straight through the pack as quickly as they can, because they have no time to sit around. Because as soon as they start sitting around, they'll fall into that DRS train and they won't be getting past anyone. So it's hard to say though. They could have a lot of pace over them, but the problem is the medium runners haven't got too much older. Obviously 7 laps, yeah, huge, but around this track, it's not that much. So it really is an open game, and I have no clue who is going to be doing this today. Is he amazing at the pit lane again?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's doing this on purpose, but hopefully, I think the safety car comes in no matter what this lap, so hopefully he can catch up. But yeah, I have no clue how it's going to go. I'm really interested to see how it is going to go, though.
It's actually quite smart from Amazed because, well, if he's got multiple sets of soft tyres to use and he goes back on the same ones he started with under the safety car, well, he's reduced the wear a bit there and hasn't sacrificed any track position. So I don't know. It could be smart, but he's well and truly arriving on the back of the pack now. So it looks like we're all set for a 10-lap shootout here at Sochi.
Yeah, I
I
can't wait for this one. It's gonna be mental. It's gonna be absolutely mental. We haven't seen this season, obviously. Where have we seen safety cars? Everyone seems to be on the same strategy, the same plan, try and win. But the problem is now we've got different strategies and we've got a split in the grids. It's gonna be interesting to see. But Caesar, down a safety car restart. Will he go for a different time to go this time? Obviously, last time did work. Obviously, will he want it to work even better? Let's see how it goes.
Is it going to be Plan A or Plan B coming out on top at Sochi as TTM Caesar? Oh, he's lifted off again. He's gone too early. Could have been controversial if anyone was to have gotten tangled up in that. But he's foot to the floor for a second time on a safety car restart. We're racing again in Sochi as FRT Blackie is quite a bit closer this time compared to the first safety car restart, and he's already on the overtake. Caesar defending to the inside, but I don't think he's going to be under any pressure. Someone who is under pressure, Adam Dude, as UFC Ryan tangles with the Williams. Oh, the Alpine was squeezed into the wall. Adam Dude moves slightly to the left under braking, and I think he's paid the price there, Adam Dude. Unfortunately, didn't see the Alpine. Has the Alpine got damage? I don't think so at this stage, but he's being overtaken by that man, Limp Jet.
Oh, Blackie's in the wall.
Oh my word, Blackie! Blackie!
Oh my God. Well, what? It's an absolutely mental start to the safety car restart. It's nothing like the last one we just saw. That is exactly what I said to the Limp Jet. He was aggressive, got straight past UFC Ryan after the contact with Adam Dude. And Limp Jet from P7 on the fresh soft tyres is already back into where he would have been anyway. And he's got 3 people ahead of him. One person is a free position. He's got 2 people left to beat. And he's got 9 laps to do it in. This is a mental strategy from Limp Jet. Issue, can he get past out Rossi, Harv, and Caesar without getting any damage?
Wow. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? And TTM Caesar now will be grateful that his closest challenger in this race has suddenly disappeared. But he's got new ones on the block as Limp Jet, currently 4th, closing down on Flying Rossi for P3. Not this time around though. DRS will be on the next lap. But I think the amazing grip that Limp Jet is finding in these soft tyres. Look how much he's gaining through turn 3. And he could set up a move into turn 4. No, he won't. And that's definitely the wiser thing to do. But
absolutely.
I'm really just trying to exaggerate here the difference in grip. Although he runs a bit wide, he's given it everything here.
No, yeah, he really is being aggressive, and he's got to. He's got to be aggressive. He's got to go in straight away because, like I said, he can't sit around. As we see, Caesar has broken the DRS range to half. So that is huge for Caesar. So Limp Jet really needs to get a move on. It's so hard to overtake someone like Rossi, who seems to have great pace. Harv isn't too much to worry about, but he is if Limp Jet wants to win. So it's all to play for Limp Jet. He just needs to get even more aggressive, get some more pace, and get past these boys, because he's done so well in this safety car period. As we see, Rossi goes in a bit deep there, so this could be the chance for Libjet, as he does make a little mistake though, unfortunately. He really is pushing.
Biblical scenes. If he would have spun around there, and I say biblical
I would have been
because
shouting.
there's not
Would have
many
been shouting
words.
at my TV.
Yeah. But DRS now in play. But Flying Rossi has it too on half. And so this overtake is looking unlikely in the short term. However, it's getting closer and closer and closer. And once again through turn 3, Limp Jet is just finding time where others can't. Again, it's not to be. ET Liam, and I think there's a spin. There is a spin for Typical F1. Another one of the chasing soft runners. Typical F1, who started 15th and made great progress. Adam Dude is now out as well. That's in the pit lane, so that will not cause a third safety car in this race. As he now leaves the session as well. 4 DNFs, 12 remain. Still plenty of points on offer, as well as the championship lead, as here comes Limp Jet. He's got 1. Will he get 2? It's 3 wide. He's gone through the middle. There's a bit of contact with Harv, who goes off the track and keeps his second place on the road. Flying Rossi gets loose, but somehow keeps his McLaren in check. And now all of a sudden this invites the Humperdinck to contend for a podium.
Absolutely mental there. Limp Jet was about to get a pair of them, and well, Harv absolutely sent it around the outside. I don't know if that was just too aggressive there from Harv or what, but he gets the key to P2, so who cares? He'll go down. DRS activated in the slipstream. It should be a pretty easy overtake, I think, for Limp Jet here. I say that, but Harv's definitely been really aggressive now into turn 1. Round the outside, can he get the move done? Goes in a bit deep, has to cut the corner. Harv doesn't get the move back. This is great battling. Here we go, side by side through the long speed. This is the fast left-hander. I assume that Limp Jet's going to get it.
Deploying all of his overtake.
Yeah, the both guys are really pushing, but Limp Jet, great move there up into P2 eventually.
Eventually. Done and dusted for Limp Jet, but it's not his last challenge in this race. 2.5 seconds to find in about 6.5 laps. Can he do it? Can he do it? FRT Blackie, fastest lap. I think that will be a way to bow out this race, unfortunately. I mean, unless it's another safety car. Well, nothing's really on offer in this race anymore. As now we're seeing the battling for the remaining podium position. Harv, with 8 seconds worth of penalties, holds that position at the moment, but Flying Rossi and the Humperdinck will inherit it as it stands, as will NUFC Ryan, and I believe ET Liam, and even TMS Amazed, I think, at this point. So Harv dropping 5 places as it stands.
Yeah, no, that was...
Oh, Steve!
Oh, Steve is retired, and... Oh my God.
My words. Oh my words.
I feel... I'm about to jump out of my window for Caesar.
My head hurts.
I can't believe what I'm seeing.
Oh, this guy.
The most unluckiest man I've ever seen. He's in AI already. He's coming to complain somewhere.
Are you kidding me? He says.
Caesar, I feel so bad for you. You've drove a stupendous race, mate. No matter what happens here, you have drove so well, man. It's so unfortunate because Caesar was clear 2.5 seconds ahead. And obviously, Limp Jet was catching. But by the time Limp Jet might have caught, you have no ERS. Your tyres might have been overheating because softs overheat quickly. It was still all to play for. Now, I don't see any reason why Limp Jet can't get past Caesar here.
Look, I'm not one to get into Abu Dhabi, but this is the Lewis Hamilton drive. He's led every lap. He's done absolutely nothing wrong. He's dominated from start to finish, and really, it cannot be any later of a safety car, to be honest. And it would be a cruel way to lose the race. It really would. As Limp Jet now has more opportunity to preserve those softs a bit more and then go for one final attack. So that is the argument here. Oh, this could be cruel, but I'm sure Caesar is not going to give in on this. He'll do everything to defend. It's not easy on this game, but ooh, Harv is coming in, and you know what? With a 5 seconds able to be served.
Oh, that's quite smart actually from Half.
It could be. It could well be.
But he
Nice
will
play.
still come out in P9. Fresh set of soft tyres. 5 seconds removed. Obviously, he has still got a 3-second penalty, but with the 8 seconds with on, I don't see why he would have got P9 anyway. Maybe even worse. So it's hard there. It's being smart, but obviously, yeah, like you say earlier, Caesar has drove a Lewis Hamilton race. He really has. He's drove so well. I feel so bad for him, to be honest. But obviously, you know, you have to create your own luck, and nothing to take away from Libjet. He got a great strategy, and it's worked out even better for him at the end of this race. I didn't think it worked even better than it did, but it has. So fair play to Libjet, but can he bring it home now? Can he overtake the man who has dominated this race so far?
I don't think it's going to be an easy move. I really don't. I just have that lingering feeling that this is going to go all the way. For some reason. I just feel like it. Not that it will, I just feel like it.
Nah,
so whatever I feel like.
Yeah, I feel the same thing. Obviously, I feel like Caesar is ready to crash or win for this. I don't think he wants a second. Even though it'd be a great result for him. Not in this race. This race is a win or bust for Caesar. But that's exactly what you expect from him. His progression every race. Well, he has been progressing every race, and this race really shows it. We're really interested to see if Cheetah was here, how we could have contended with Caesar. But Cheetah isn't here, Caesar is, and Caesar is the one who showed up everyone today. Just can he hold on from from a guy who's on fresh, soft tyres? I think it's going to be really hard, but if he can, this would have been the cherry on top. An absolutely outstanding race from Caesar.
Lap 24 of 27. It's TTM Caesar versus Limp Jet. If you are only just joining us, first of all, what are you doing? No, I completely understand, but Limp Jet took the opportunity under the second of 3 safety cars to go in for the soft tyres. His restart was mega, gaining 2 positions on the first lap of green. And then he got past Harv and he got past Flying Rossi. Almost on the same straight. He had to wait a little bit longer to get past Harv. But ultimately, he's created his own luck, like you said. And he's now on course to snatch victory away from TTM Caesar.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been. There has been a few drivers who've been really impressed today. Obviously, Caesar, I can't fault him at all today. He's absolutely brilliant. Limp Jet with his strategy calls has been stupendous. Obviously, the aggression with it as well. And obviously, he made a bit of a slow way up the grid here, and he finds himself in a P3 position. Obviously, the Humperdinck at P4, but the Humperdinck's pace hasn't been great today. So, it'll be interesting to see how the Rossi can do. Obviously, he's just slowly and quietly moved himself up into a podium position. So, it could not be all over for him to even beat Caesar in this race, which would be so unfortunate for Caesar. But, hey, there's still a race to complete. It's not over yet. Even though Caesar has done brilliantly so far, the race is not over.
A 3-lap shootout. We thought it was going to be a 10-lap shootout. But it's been made even better by the crash and the DNF of Steve F1, which could cost his teammate victory. That doesn't sound too good, does it? Although unintentional. It could have major consequences on the outcome of this championship come May in WOR Season 12. Caesar's going to leave it late this time. We saw him go early on the previous 2 safety car restarts. But safety car restart number 3 is go. And TTM Caesar does lead the way. Limp Jet following closely, and he's already on the overtake. They'll be looking to use as much as possible in these last 3 laps. Flying Rossi holding on to 3rd. Defending there is NUFC Ryan, but he's pretty clear for now. TTM Caesar through turn 3. And that's in the background. He's halved. It's gone from bad to worse, and I think he's collided with FRT Blackie.
That is so disappointing for Harv. He did a great strategy call, in my opinion, under the safety car. And after what looked like a race that, well, was going pretty shambolic for him due to, well, in the penalty type way, just gone from bad to, well, worse. He's now last. And yeah, it's so unfortunate for Harv because he was driving really well this race. It really was a redemption race. Because I think Blackie does have damage, so it still could be points there for Harv. But nah, Harv, he was so disappointed in the race. But obviously, if you look up the grid now, it's looking a bit spaced out right now, actually. I don't know if Limp Jet is just waiting, but Caesar is obviously pushing.
Here comes Liam. Oh, there was a car in the wall there. I'm not quite sure what's happened, but TMSMA certainly grazes it and runs a bit too wide.
Yeah, he's got no wing.
I can't get an angle, but there's definitely damage. Yeah.
Well, I think he's got some wing. Just some of it is also not.
Got most of it.
Yeah. And yeah, he dives into the pit lane. So it could still be a P9 for Harv, but
it's going to be DRS on the final lap, may I add.
Oh no.
I think I'm correct in saying.
It will be, you are correct. So lap 27 will be DRS activated. It's so smart for Limp Jet to just sit here and wait, actually. That's very smart from Limp Jet. Save the tyres, don't let him overheat. Save that ERS, and he has got more than Caesar. I feel so bad for Caesar, but
whoa!
Not guaranteed overtake.
Side-by-side battle.
And
Through turn 4.
And Liam side by side.
Wow. That was a great shot I had as well on the helicam, but Liam goes in a bit wide, but actually keeps that position. And, well, that is for track position, as both him and NUFC Ryan have 3-second penalties, so fair play to Liam. I mean, it's not over yet. He's going to be extremely vulnerable. And obviously, NUFC Ryan does have more battery than him, but that is not our greatest concern at the moment. TTM Caesar holding on plenty of battery for the final lap, around 46%. Limp Jet on about 60 in the braking zone. TTM Caesar up to about 50 now. So that is the playing field. We're going to have one final lap. We're going to have one final lap with DRS to decide perhaps one of the cruelest defeats in WOR all season that you're perhaps going to see. TTM Caesar round to the final corner and let the final lap commence. DRS enabled. There it is. Limp Jet has 6 tenths to find. He's on those 11 lap old soft tyres now. He's not quite been able to get it done immediately from the restart, but DRS could save the day as he closes. It's not enough at turn 2, but he's going to have another go into turn 13 on this lap. Bit of a messy upshift there, but he's got that sorted out, and he's gaining through turn 3. Turn 4 won't be the overtaking spot, that's for sure, but he's still just setting himself up.
No, yes, Caesar's done absolutely brilliantly there. He got a superb exit out the last corner, and he still keeps the lead. Now, it's all down the back straight. It's even shorter now, and all he's got to do is get out a great exit again. What a win this could be, what a finish off this could be for Caesar. As he comes down now into the back straight, 30% ERS isn't too much to play with, but obviously, as Limp Jet only has 10% more, it's not a good enough exit, I don't think, for Caesar. He weaves left, right, into the middle of the track now. Will it be a bit of a dive bomb now into turn 13? Here comes
He's got to, surely! Oh, Caesar defends late! And Caesar just about holds on. Limp Jet tries 1 switchback, he tries 2 switchbacks, and they're going wheel to wheel into turn 14 and turn 15, and they collide! The top 2 collide, and he retires! Oh my word! It's happened again in WOR Tier 3 as TTM Caesar now takes a controversial victory.
Oh my god, what an end to what a race. I don't know what your opinion was on that. Obviously, it started with the turn 13 defence from Caesar. It was a little bit late, but I think he will get away with it. Good defending there from Caesar. Obviously, then on the exit, he just obviously the traction from the soft tyres was unreal. But in my opinion, looking at it from a first glance, about a proper view on it, I would say Limp Jet was at fault. I think he's just got a bit too deep into the corner and collided off Caesar's side pod. But obviously, I'm not a steward, and I've only seen it once in the moment where, let's be honest, we all were in absolute shock there. But for now, we will say congratulations to TTM Caesar for his first win, provisionally, of the season.
And that is provisionally the championship lead as well. But although if he does get penalised, obviously I'm going to need another look at that. I'm not going to point fingers for the time being. Goodness me, it happens again. Final laps in this league, in this tier.
I hate final laps now. I thought I used to like them. I absolutely hate them in this league because they are just throwing spanners into the works in this tier and in this league. It's unreal. Great racing, but my heart.
Let me get some invites. Flying Rozzy up in P2 as well. And provisionally, the top 3 in the championship is as follows. TTM Caesar will take the championship lead and will go on to 51 points. Cheetah will remain on 50 points. And Flying Rozzy will go up to 46. 5 points in the top 3 at the moment. That really, in terms of a result, could not have been any better for the championship. In terms of that, but genuinely, final laps, I just can't do them anymore. I'm gonna leave the party. I'm gonna turn off the stream from now on every final lap. And with the Humperdinck in the party, well, I might be in trouble.
That was absolutely mental. I can't believe what I've just seen now in that final lap. Once again, as we see, obviously, a surprise podium finish there from Rozzy and Humperdinck. Fair play to them to obviously quietly getting themselves up there. But we're forcing into that race once again.
Yeah, and I think we should kickstart these interviews. And let's talk to the Humperdinck, because after a DNF and a DSQ in the opening 2 rounds, it's a podium for the reigning champ. The Humperdinck, I have to say, so much went on in those final 2 safety car restarts. Impossible to predict. But would you say this is a dirty podium in terms of you got it the hard way, or a podium merited off pace? I don't think you've got your audio included.
The front 3 were very quick today. Caesar, Half, and I think it might have been, I can't remember who was initially in the train at the front, but yeah, those 3 were very quick, and they dropped me in Rozzy. So yeah, it was one of them. But I think I would have been in that train if the first safety car didn't come out. Because I think my out-lap was my in-lap was very good. And that, yeah, I don't know what obviously would have happened, how close I would have been to the top 3 if they'd have picked the following lap. But yeah, I think my pace was good, but I don't think it was as good as obviously the top guys. I think obviously a lack of practice around here. So yeah.
In terms of now getting the podium on the board, do you look forward now into the next few races and go, okay, I can build on this. It's not over until it's over?
Well, the next few tracks I think are generally quite good for me. I think Spa and Imola, I think looking at last season, they were probably my worst 2 tracks of the whole season. So to get them out of the way early, obviously with no points, it's obviously a bit of a shame, but you know, I think Austria coming up is a very good track for me. Likewise with I think Zandvoort I was very strong at on the last game. So yeah, I think it's just now I'm just trying to obviously build up a bit of momentum and sort my quality out. You know, I think I invalidated it. I think I can't remember where it was, but it was like a very silly invalidation, and yeah, it would have been enough for pole. So I just need to sort my qualities out and then hopefully I can fight a bit more towards the front.
Brilliant. Great result for you. Congratulations. Zach, any quick questions for the Humperdinck?
Well, first of all, Humperdinck, mate, congratulations on that podium. Obviously, your season has been nothing, as good as diabolical. It's been absolutely awful. I'm pretty sure you'd agree. Obviously, not what you how you wanted to start the season. I think your pace today, like you say, it wasn't actually too bad. Unfortunately, compared to the likes of Caesar, though, it just wasn't quite there. Now there's a bit of confidence under that podium. Do you think for the rest of the season you could definitely be challenging for more podiums?
I'd like to think so. I think hopefully over like I say, the next few rounds are going to be quite good for me. Austria was quite good for me last season. I should have won there. Then Zandvoort, I was quite good last season. Then we got Monza and Bahrain. So yeah, I think it's quite 3 or 4 good tracks coming up for me now. So let's see, obviously, whether I can build on the momentum that I got today.
Yeah, best of luck, mate.
Cheers.
Well, Flying Rozzy, we meet again, and that is because you've now taken back-to-back P2 finishes. And, well, the harsh thing is you've actually dropped a position in the championship, but trust me, it's close. It's really good, and yeah, that result was crucial for you. So, yeah, talk us through your race. Would you say you weren't really in immediate contention for the podium throughout, but the opportunity came, and you've taken it?
Yeah, of course. I feel like I did have decent pace, but it's just when I got to the medium stint, it was just horrific amounts of understeer, and I do think I was faster than the 2 cars in front of me, but I tried to save DRS and fell out of DRS, so the 2 cars in front had DRS off Caesar. He was just fast. So yeah, I think on softs I had very good pace, but yeah, on mediums I really struggled. And I had 2 opportunities to get rid of them, just didn't take any of them. Because I just thought it'd be inspiring to stay on mediums. So yeah, I mean, a bit embarrassing not to have took the lead from Cheetah, considering he's not here. But yeah, decent result.
Yeah, and the next 2 races are going to be extremely crucial, those being Austria and Zandvoort. Your opinion on those 2 tracks, are they going to be good for you?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I don't know. They're just tracks, aren't they? Right. I mean, Austria's just a slipstream fest, so I'm not looking forward to that. Zandvoort could be a wheel killer for me. So I don't really know. I mean, I think Russia isn't an ideal track for me, but I still got a decent result. So I think as long as I keep on bagging top 4s and top 5s for the rest of the season, I should be all right. But, yeah.
Absolutely. Zach, any questions to get another course, probably?
Yeah, well, Rosie, obviously, congratulations on another podium. Obviously, I did get a bit confused halfway through the race because I did feel like your pace wasn't too bad, but obviously I could see you were trying to save ERS. Obviously, you obviously know it's hard to replenish that ERS back. Obviously, as soon as you use it, it's hard to get it back because of the high wings. So obviously, going into the next few races, I feel like, do you feel like you're gonna have to be a bit more aggressive, like maybe with the ERS and that? I know the ERS is important. But obviously, if you does that DRS, that your race may have been over without the safety car.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't know. I'll be all right, probably.
Of course you will, mate.
If not, it's just a game. And realistically, I'm 20 this year, and I'm still playing a game based on a sport which is probably corrupt. So it doesn't really matter.
Well, that's absolutely beautiful to hear, mate. Well, best of luck for the rest of the season, and I hope you fly into the
Cheers,
stars this season, mate.
I'll have a League of Planet as well, yeah.
Well, let's not keep TTMCs waiting any longer. And for a moment, it looked like 27 laps would be 27 laps of pure dominance, but the fighting came on the final lap. The pressure, you had to defend from Limp Jet, and he made 2 perfect switchbacks on you, and then contact. Obviously, I want to get your thoughts on that collision, but I have to congratulate you on as well on a just truly dominant performance.
Yeah, thank you, mate. Thanks for the commentary. I was listening to a bit during the race.
Just tunes in like a radio.
Yeah, well, to be fair, once you get in a rhythm around this track, I think it's a bit more easy to push other when you just just inside the DRS. I think the opening lap, when my quali was actually quite good. I'm really happy with that. My start was good. Then I was off to a 3-second gap very quick because I think Blackie and Harv were fighting. I was a bit surprised by that. But yeah, then the first safety car, second safety car, third safety car. Yeah, it's quite a bit annoying. Yeah, because without them, I think it would have won quite easily, I think. Yeah, and the last safety car, I mean, I was surprised Olympia didn't gain more on me because I think the gap was around 5 tenths during 25, 26, and then of course in the last lap he had the DRS. Yeah, of course, and then we had contact. I mean, I've only seen my POV and some photos from the air because I'm in race highlights now. I'm reviewing it. Yeah, before I can completely judge on it in a fair way, I think I need to see his POV. But I think he was just a bit far behind and he stuck a wheel on my inside. So yeah, I don't like I said, I can't really comment completely on it because I've only seen my own footage. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I think I'm happy with my drive. Yeah, we'll see.
And you also lead the championship by a mere 1 point now as well. How much are you looking forward to this battle with Cheetah and indeed Flying Rossi?
Yeah, he messaged me after the race. Yeah, it's gonna be a good fight with Rossi Cheetah. I mean, Cheetah obviously he missed the race, so it's kind of unfair that I'm 1 point ahead now. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a good season.
Love it. Zach, any final questions? I know you've got the 3 a.m. start in the morning, but you know I'm keeping you here.
Mate, I want to speak to Caesar, obviously. Caesar, mate, congratulations. Obviously, me and Joseph are very impressed with how you drove. I feel speak with both of us there. Obviously, absolutely dominant throughout the whole race. Your qualifying was near perfect. Obviously, that last run, unfortunately, you've had then. Sort of, you had a good first section as well, but and then the race was just so controlled, and then that last lap was just brilliant, considering you're up against a guy who was on much fresher tyres and on a softer compound. So, GG's for that. And obviously, I can't speak on the incident too much that you had. Obviously, I've only seen it once, but from that little POV I saw, I felt like he did just be a bit ambitious for the move. But that's just what I thought. I feel like you will still get the win. And if you don't, you drove phenomenal today, mate. So well done to you. With this win under your belt, championship is writing on now. How are you feeling going to the rest of the season?
Well, I'm going to try my best to attend every race because for a championship, that's the main part. Because even if you, if you go for a championship but you miss 3-4 races, you get so much pressure in the remaining rounds that you do. I mean, I've had it once where I missed 2 races and just about missed out on a championship. So yeah, I think this WOR is my only individual league I drive full time, so I'm going to do my best to attend every race. And if nothing crazy happens in the race, if I get taken out or crashed or something, I think I've got a very good chance on a championship.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Best of luck for the rest of the season, and awesome win, mate. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you, mate.
Cheers for your time, guys. And that's just about where we're going to wrap it up this week. Make sure you do join us for the Austrian Grand Prix here in Tier 3 next week. It's going to be a cracker. And I'm thoroughly looking forward to it. Oh, my voice. It's gone. Of course it has. But yeah, I'm gonna shut up and stop talking and let you all enjoy the rest of your evening. My thanks to Zach once again. And make sure you keep in touch with all the WOR action this week. I just can't do this.